Hi guys, Rickard Hansson here, CEO of Weavy. Welcome to this demo video about Weavy, our collaboration SDK and API. I think it's freaking awesome, and what our dev team has been doing is nothing short than amazing. Obviously, I'm biased, but I think you're going to find it pretty cool as well. Before diving into the demo, let's start off talking about Weavy, so have the bigger picture in place. So Weavy, as I said, is an in-app collaboration SDK and API. And the reason we created Weavy is the belief that collaboration is not a product, right? Collaboration is a feature. And feature, that means we think that your app is where work happens. We want to bring the collaboration experience into your app so your user can be more productive, contextual collaboration. So they can send messages, share files, do activity feeds, and all that good stuff from within your app. That's the whole goal. That's the whole point. And the features are going to go through like messaging and feeds and files and whatnot. They all have in common integrations that we have in place. We already have integrations to Dropbox, Box, Google Drive, and OneDrive, and Zoom and Microsoft Teams as well. And they're kind of cross-pollinating all our features. So if you have a feeds conversation, you can fire up a Zoom meeting from there. If you have a messaging going on, you can share files from Google Drive and so on and so forth. And I'm going to show you that later. But I think it's important to keep in mind. There's two ways of getting Weavy into your app. It's either the drop-in UI approach or the API approach. You can actually mix them up or together. More commonly so, you choose either or. In this particular demo, I'm going to focus all into the drop-in UI approach, which is our pre-built UI using our client SDK. And to be honest, most of our users are using that approach as well, like 9 out of 10. You just drop it in literally into your app, you style it so it looks like yours, and off you go. So you can go into production in a couple of weeks instead of months. That's the whole goal. Weavy works with anything and everything. This is just a couple of them, right? Blazor, Angular, React, Xamarin, and just vanilla JS. But if you build something in Swift or something else, it still works. Today, the demo is going to be the vanilla JS approach, and also there's going to be a little bit of Blazor as well. So we can see kind of both. Everything I'm talking about here today is you can find on our developer portal. You have tutorials, videos, articles. You have all our API documentation, the whole shebangs. And if you're lucky enough, you can actually connect with our community team, Chris and Ayush, who is gladly there to help you if you want to set up a trial or have an onboarding session or anything you need. We're there to help. So just head over. But without further ado, let's get into the demo. In the demo, we're going to start off focusing on the in-app messaging piece. As you can see here, in the middle panel is the actual Weavy drop-in UI you see, which is kind of a widget. And again, literally you drop it into your app. You can style it and everything so it looks like yours. That is not an issue. But let's focus on the functionality you actually have in place. Like you can see here now, there's two conversations going on in a group channel, and I actually have a conversation with the Weavy bot. Let's go into this particular room, for example, general, and you can see we're talking with Leonardo, Barks, and Bugs, a weird bunch, but still. And for example, here you can see that Barks has attached a file, a PDF, and this is built in, right? So I can preview the PDF instantly from here. We have built-in support for previewing literally any format you can think of. And this overlay that actually firing up, it's, that happens automatically. You don't have to do any additional work to make that happen. You can style it, you can change the size of it, you can, change the placement. But you don't have to do anything specific to make it work. Here you can also see we actually had a Zoom meeting in the past, and if you do a recording of the Zoom meeting, that card will actually automatically be updated with the recording or link to the recording, which is very interesting. If I want to do a new Zoom meeting, so you can actually attach several files to a message. So let's do a Zoom meeting, and then I want to attach a file from Dropbox that I want to have a conversation about in that Zoom meeting. I'm just going to pick a file here, Anton's Adventure, choose, and then you can see we now have two files attached, so to speak, or two things attached. And say, let's talk about this, and then post it. So now you can see actually we got a Dropbox file attached and a Zoom meeting. I can start it, and people can then start joining it. If it's recorded, it's going to automatically be attached. Very cool. Going back, we have the Weavy bot. This is just a very simple way to show hooks we have in Weavy. So you can actually, intercept, posts and any event in Weavy. So in this, case, this, gives me a bad joke. So what do you call a nose with nobody? Nobody knows. But that is just to kind of conceptualize, how you can hook into bot framework, any bot framework for that matter, or just like literally listen into the things that are happening in Weavy. Any event you see in Weavy, you can intercept and do your own stuff, or intercept and change the outcome, so to speak. This widget is using this code snippet. So this is the client SDK. So in the top you see the client SDK being loaded, and then this is the actual script to get it up and running, so to speak. So you have a sub, which is like a JWT token. This is going towards our demos. It's kind of a hack. So it's like a kind of to make it easy to get it up and running and test it, because you can actually take this code, copy it, and paste it into your web app, and it's gonna work. But you can see here now it's actually rendering a Weavy space with a type messenger, which is the app. So that's kind of the concept, and you're going to see now we go through the different features. They're all the same. Moving on to feeds. So feeds is like LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever you want to call it. Everything is real time. So if you wait 5 seconds here, you can see, oh, Weavybot not just posted into the feed. So anything that happens is automatically posted to your app real time through Weavy. So you don't have to think about that. And you can see again, Weavybot is here. I can ask you for bad jokes if I want to do that. I don't really want to do that. And again, I can post something new, and then I can say I want to attach a file. And again, we have all integrations, but in this case, I want to actually post something from my computer. So I'm just going to take a Word document here, for example, and then I'll post that. And again, if I click this now, we're going to get a preview of that Word document automatically because I attached it, as you can see. And then you have all the normal stuff, like and you can comment and you can do mentions like barks, since that's in my space. And need this from you. All the normal stuff, right? And again, you see the code snippet is exactly the same. The difference is the type. The type is defining what kind of an app you want to render. In this case, it's a post app, feeds app. Okay. Moving along to our files app, very powerful gadget, to be honest. And here you see kind of a normal folder structure. You can switch between cards and a list, and you can see there's previews of the files I have in here. And again, if I click here, I can get the preview. The preview is slightly different here because now we're in in the files piece, so to speak. So now I can actually do edits to this. I can do comments. So like I can do here, like bugs need your input on this PDF, for example. If it's a Word file, like in this case, I can actually do remote editing. So by clicking here on the Word document, I'll actually open up Word on my computer. Or this works in the mobile as well, if that's what you're going to do. And then I can do edits instantly here. So this is like part of the remote editing technology we have in place. So I can change the color here, for example. Oops. Change the color. New title, and then just save it. And now it's saved back to Weavy. So I just close it down. I go back to Weavy. We can click this again, and now we can see that we have the new title. This is the word, and everything is new. And we can see also we have versions. So all this is automatically handled by Weavy as their own file repository. You can also create something called custom content types. A content type can be anything. It just literally fills. We have one built in from the beginning called note. So I can create a note. So that's an online editor, right? Notes from meeting, and then heading, test, and whatnot. And here you can see now we have like an online editor. But this form you see here, so to speak, is something built in Weavy through something called content types. So that can be like anything, several fields. It can be date pickers. So it can be very structured information, so to speak. And we call that content types, and you can create them on your own. So now I created that, as you can see. So now we have notes from today's meetings. And here as well, like we have integrations to the different vendors. So let's say I want to pull in a file from Google Drive. Let's say I'm going to take something called test, just a simple file, and you see here it is. And if the supplier allows you to, you can actually preview it as well. See, if I open it right here now, you can see we actually can see the Google Docs in our app, like because you see the app in the background, so to speak, right? And if I want to do edits this, I just open it in Google Docs. Very good. So that's kind of what we can do with files: drag and drop, create folders, all that good stuff. Again, exactly the same code snippet to get it up and running. The difference is type. That's all. And again, you can copy and paste this particular code snippet, right? We're going to share those resources later. You can copy and paste this, and it will work in your app. Another feature we have is tasks. A very straightforward, minimal tasks app. It gets the job done, so to speak. So I can add, need this done, and this and that. And now we have a couple of different tasks. I can reorder them if I want to do that. I can say it's done. And also if I click on it, I can get the details where I can do assignments, I can set due dates, I can set a description, and I can attach files and all that stuff as well. Super powerful in all its simplicity, right? And again, it's the exact same approach. Type tasks is the only difference. Moving along to a very popular but simple, app called Comments. It does exactly what it's supposed to say, right? Comments. So here I can do barks. Need your input. I do that a lot, obviously. So now you have a simple comment flow, so to speak, that you can attach to anything in your app. The cool thing here is, again, like you get, like I said, a cross-pollinating of integrations. Now I can fire up a Zoom meeting here. I can attach a file from Box, Google Drive, whatnot, or I can attach any file from a computer and have a preview of it. And I have that in the comment section, so to speak. So that's like the benefit, like, the bonus, so to speak. You get all those integrations in all the apps you're using, and then you can use the apps in different scenarios in different ways. And again, it has exactly the same structure. The only difference here is comments. And then notifications. So everything happens, when we at Barks or at me or whatnot. Of course, you're getting notifications from Weavy, or you get a new message from the Inapp Messaging. So you have the notification service you can hook into. You can find more about that in the developer portal. I'm not going to dive into that right now. And then we have the notifications app. In this case, like it's just listing notifications, Bugs has uploaded a document. Like this is things I can subscribe to, or people are like, specifically mentioning me, like at Rickard, then I will get a notification. And this, everything in here you can handle on your own in terms of the clicks, like if it's going to be a specific redirects into your app, like if it's like down to a specific view or whatnot. All that is doable. I think in this case, like in our notification, if it's document here, like YCRM products, if I click that, that document is actually loaded as an overlay because we know the actual file. So I don't even have to navigate away. But again, you can intercept that and rewrite that event to do what you want it to do, so to speak. But out of the box, that's what happens here. Right? If I click a document, that document is actually loaded. And as you can see, as I click them, they're read, and I can say I read them all, and we're done. And again, same concept, notifications. And lastly, it's search. So search is like an app as well, and technology, obviously, where you can search for anything that is created in Weavy. So you can kind of integrate it with your own search. So if I search for, head, for example, I will find the head of growth, notes for meeting, heading, and so on and so forth. And here, if it's a file, right, I can click it and it shows as an overlay. And again, you can intercept that, so it does what you want it to do. But this search function, right, maybe not you use to search specific items and whatnot in Weavy, and then you can combine that and merge that with your own search, obviously. And again, same approach, type search. That's the only difference. So that's all the apps, right? Messaging, feeds, files, tasks, comments, notifications, and search. So it's quite a lot. And you can sprinkle these, all over your app in different views. And attach them, so to speak. And that's what you see here, like the sub, for example, here I'm using in my example, is what's tying, a specific app to a view. And as I said, like we're going to dive into, shortly into a Blazor demo. So I have a Blazor demo up running here. We created Weavy, and we created some, with Telerik Blazor UI. And just to show you like context, like how we use Weavy in a context. So here, for example, you have the profile. So I'm logged in as Oliver, as you can see. Here we use the file sharing piece on the profile. So Oliver can have his own files in here, right? So he can do everything I just showed you, Dropbox. He can add files from Note and folder. He can drag and drop files and all that good stuff. But now it's contextually connected to Oliver, right? So if I log out here, and this is just a demo, I'm going to log in as Samara, and I go to profile, we see that this is Samara's files and it looks differently. It's same feature, but you uniquely attach this app file to this particular view. So that is how you do the contextual collaboration, right? You can also do it on a very detailed level. So like, for example, here we have a chart, and let's say we want to attach, activity feeds to a year. Like we want to discuss 2008, we want to discuss 2004. You can do that as well. So I click here on 2008, and now this expands. And now we have an activity feed here, and I can say, Samara, oh, I am logged in as Samara, so let's say Oliver instead. Need this from you now. So now we actually added, contextually activity feeds to a specific view on a data point in this, mock-up app, but still. That's like conceptually how you get Weavy into place to have like the different pieces. And so in this chart, for example, I could add files as well. I can add tasks as well. And they all attach to 2008, or they can be attached to 2005 or whatever you want. The point is that all the different apps and features you see of Weavy through the drop UI, you can attach uniquely to a very detail level or a view or whatever you want by the end of the day, right? That's it. That's my demo. That's all the things you can do with Weavy, which I think, again, is freaking awesome. Again, I'm biased, but anywho's. Hope you enjoyed the demo and have a great rest of your day.